Day 12. Welcome to Worldwide Truth Foundation, where truth is not just something we hear, it is something we walk through, something that challenges us, reshapes us, and ultimately frees us. If you've been on this journey, then you already understand. Awakening is progressive. It does not happen in a single moment. It unfolds, it deepens, it intensifies. Because first, you choose identity. Then, that identity is examined. And now, we arrive at the moment many people avoid, yet cannot bypass if they truly desire transformation. Because once truth is seen, it does not remain silent. Truth confronts. This is the day of holy disruption. The day where what has been hidden is no longer allowed to stay hidden. The day where what has been tolerated begins to be challenged. The day where truth does not whisper, it speaks clearly, directly, and without compromise. And this is where everything intensifies. Because once you begin to see clearly, once illusion starts to lose its grip, once awareness rises within you, there is a clash, a real, internal clash. Not outside of you, within you, between truth and everything that is not truth. And this is why you may begin to feel something shifting inside. A tension, a discomfort, a restlessness. Not because something is wrong, but because something false is being challenged. This is what confrontation feels like. And many people misunderstand this moment. They think the discomfort means they are losing something. But what is actually happening is that illusion is losing its hold. Because truth has entered the space, and truth does not coexist with illusion, it confronts it. And this is where the deeper reality begins to unfold. Because within you, there are systems, patterns, thought structures, beliefs, voices, and not all of them are aligned with truth. Some were formed through fear, some through pain, some through conditioning, some through teachings that were never questioned. And over time, these things were given authority. They began to sit on the throne of your thinking. They began to influence your decisions, shape your identity, define your limits, and without realizing it, you began to listen to them. But here is the truth that changes everything. Anything not aligned with Yahweh is not authority. It is influence, and influence must never become rulership. Yet for many it has. Fear became a voice that directs your choices. Society became a standard that defines your worth. Past experiences became the lens through which you see yourself. Religious systems became structures you follow without question. And all of these things began to rule internally. Not because they were true, but because they were never confronted. And this is why this moment matters. Because what is not confronted will continue to rule. And this is where the pattern becomes undeniable. Because in this same alignment, Yeshua enters the temple and overturns tables. And many see that moment and misunderstand it. They see emotion, they see disruption, they see intensity. But what they are witnessing is alignment in action. Because the temple was meant to be pure. It was meant to be a place of truth. It was meant to reflect Yahweh's order. But it had become distorted. It had been filled with systems that did not belong, practices that were misaligned, structures that replaced truth with control. So he did not ignore it. He confronted it, he disrupted it, he overturned it. And this is not just history, this is a mirror. Because your mind is a temple. Your life is a temple. And over time, things have entered that were never meant to stay. Beliefs that limit you, fears that control you, patterns that keep you from alignment. And now that you have seen truth, those things cannot remain unchallenged. This is the moment of confrontation. And it is not comfortable. Because confrontation requires you to let go of what feels familiar, to challenge what you once accepted, to release what you once identified with. And that is not easy, because familiarity feels like identity, even when it is not truth. But if you do not confront it, it will continue to rule you. And this is why courage is required. Not loud, external courage, but deep, internal courage. The kind that says, I will no longer ignore what I see. I will no longer submit to fear. I will no longer allow false authority to rule my life. Because now you understand something clearly. You were never created to be ruled by fear. You were never created to be limited by systems. You were never created to live under distortion. You were created to live in alignment with Yahweh. And that alignment requires confrontation. It requires overthrow. It requires restoration. So now the question becomes personal. What has been ruling you that is not truth? What belief has been sitting on the throne of your thinking? What fear has been directing your decisions? What pattern has been controlling your responses? Do not rush those questions, because this is where real transformation begins. Not when you hear truth, but when you confront what is not truth. And when it rises to the surface, do not push it away. Do not justify it. Do not defend it. Overturn it. Remove it. Release it. Because truth does not negotiate with illusion. It replaces it. And this is why awareness alone is not enough. You can know truth. You can hear truth. You can even speak truth. But if you do not confront what is false, it will remain in control. And this is where many people get stuck. They stop at awareness. But awakening requires action. It requires you to rise and say, "This no longer has authority over me." And that is the moment everything shifts. Because now you are not just aware, you are aligned. So take a moment, be still, and ask yourself honestly, what has been ruling me that is not truth? What fear have I allowed to sit on the throne? What belief needs to be overturned today? Let it come to the surface. Do not rush it, because once you see it clearly, you have the power to remove it. And this is where the transformation becomes real. Because now you are no longer negotiating with what is false. You are replacing it with truth. So speak this, not as repetition but as authority. I confront every false authority within me. I reject fear, limitation, and control. I overturn every lie that has ruled my thinking. I break agreement with cultural and religious distortion. I restore my mind to truth and alignment with Yahweh. No false throne remains in me. I am free. I am aligned. I am awakened. Let that settle within you, because this is not just a declaration. This is a shift in authority. This is the moment where truth takes its rightful place, and everything else must move, because truth does not share space with illusion. It replaces it. So do not fear this process. Embrace it. Walk through it fully, because this is the day where false thrones fall, and truth is established within you. And if this message awakens something in you, don't let it pass. Sit with it. Reflect on it. Write down what was revealed. And if this helped you see deeper, take a moment to comment below and share what stood out to you. Your voice matters in this awakening. Share this with someone who is ready to confront what is false and step into truth. And make sure you subscribe to Worldwide Truth Foundation so you don't miss what comes next. Because this is not just teaching, it is transformation, step by step. Thank you for choosing truth. Thank you for having the courage to confront what is not aligned. And thank you for being part of this awakening. Stay rooted, stay aware, stay aligned. Because the moment you stop negotiating with what is false is the moment truth begins to fully establish you. Amen.